Namaskar. This is a special live broadcast. Normally I pre-record it and put it out. This time I'm doing it live, so I'm happy to take your questions if you have any. What we are going to talk about is the fight between China and the United States, and looks like this round United States has won. If you remember, a few days ago, President Donald Trump had mentioned that BlackRock might be buying some ports in and around Panama Canal from a Chinese company, and that would basically safeguard US interests. So what has happened? I'm going to describe that. Who sold it, who bought it, how many ports, at what cost, all these things and more, and how the CCP has reacted. So this is like, you have so many different battles happening in so many places. This is one such battle, and this one has, I think for now, has been won by the United States. Why it is, you will know in just a moment. First, please like this video, and if you have not already subscribed to our channel, kindly do so right away. When you do that, please click on the bell button and choose all for notifications. Here we go. Li-Ka Shing to sell Panama Canal ports to US firm. Which is the US firm? Well, first let us take a look at what is this company. The company name is Hutchinson Holdings Limited. It's a Hong Kong based company. I think it is from the British days. This was owned by a person called Li-Ka Shing, and he has sold 43 port operations across 23 countries to BlackRock. BlackRock, as you know, it's a passive passive investment company. It's got trillions in its assets. So it's a very, very big company. You know those three things, right? BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, if I remember correctly. And they have holding. Each one holds a little bit in the other one, so nobody can touch them, or they won't try to kill each other. Something like that. Some sort of a Mexican standoff kind of arrangement. I'm saying it in a funny way, but that's what it is. Now, the $22.8 billion will shift control from a Hong Kong-based firm to an American company, raising geopolitical concerns. How can you do this? China has condemned the sale as power politics and warned C.K. Hutchinson to think twice. I don't know where Li-Ka Shing lives. My guess is he's not there. He's not in Hong Kong. We'll see. State-backed newspaper 𝗥𝗡𝗅 criticized the move as spineless and a betrayal of the Chinese people. This means the louder they scream, the harder it is for them to get it back, I think. So let's see. This is the first of the many arrows that they are going to throw at United States. So let's see how this goes. The Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office of the CCP requested the article, reinforcing the government's strong disapproval. So the thing is, here what they are saying is they're not quoting any reliable sources, or they're not quoting any news articles. They are quoting unnamed online commentators. I mean, this could even be Trump, because Trump had posted in Truth Social, but he had not posted their names. He just said that these are going to be under US control, or a US company control, or something of that nature, words to that effect, if you will. Why is this significant? If you remember, Trump had said that Panama Canal, every Chinese ship that goes through it has a special rate, and every American ship or non-Chinese ship that passes through this canal has to pay a lot more. The other question that Trump had was, look, we built this canal, that is, United States built this canal at great personal cost, and then we handed it over to the country of Panama. They have no business selling it to somebody else. It was not sold to somebody else, but I have given all the details to you. See, they had a special arrangement, and that special arrangement allowed Chinese to come and get permanent residency permits in Panama. And so it became so big that almost 1/5 of Panama now are Chinese origin people. And not only that, Panama has a special deal with Spain, which allowed them to migrate to Spain. And many people have been doing that. So you have this funnel system. People come from China, come in. You have this funnel system. People come from China, they come and live in Panama for a few years, then from there they migrate to Spain. Any which way you can, these guys have tried to bend the laws and systems across various countries, guys. The CCP has become excellent at this, and this also is going to break now, in my opinion. Panama told Marco Rubio that we will change our laws and not allow China any more such room. So one more thing, arrest it, because see, that's another easy way to bring in people legally into Panama, and from there they start trekking north and then come into the United States. That's also possible. So the numbers are quite mind-boggling. You have to go back and look at my monologue on Panama Canal to understand the implications there. So now the big deal here is Panama Canal handles close to 6% of all traffic on the sea. And that's a huge number. And by keeping it on both sides, China knew who was sending what. Not only that, it also was collecting extra fees from non-Chinese ships. This is what was the biggest problem. So everybody benefits except China, and now China has effectively been de-linked out of Panama. Now they are trying some other facts, and if you remember, Major General Rajiv Narayanan and I had talked about it, and he had given two other routes that China was planning on doing, one across Guatemala and one, I think, maybe in Colombia. I don't remember exactly. One of those countries. That is one to the north of the current canal and one to the south of the current canal. I think China may not be able to do that anymore because of the costs involved, and this is not an easy task to take up. So 1 in 5 ships that crosses Panama Canal is a Chinese ship. Chinese merchant shipping accounts for 21% of the cargo volume, and this is essential for trade between China, Latin America, and the Caribbean. Now, Trump's long-standing warnings have been validated. He has repeatedly stated that he will reclaim influence over the Panama Canal due to China's growing presence. This is, like I said, it's not just one thing. It's not the fact that they were charging exorbitant rates for non-Chinese ships. It was also the other thing I told you, that Chinese were coming in through an escape route, and then from there they're disappearing into many countries and legally taking residence in Spain. It's just insidious the way these people do this. And US officials feared that China could use its control to blockade ships. If you're going to be on both sides of the canal, of course you can blockade ships. So basically, it has come to a point where China has got US encircled. Forget India. India is always worried about that, right? For chain of pearls or something like that, ring of pearls, something like that, or necklace, whatever, something they have. They call it China. India also has something, diamond necklace, and they call it pearls or something like that, string of pearls or something like that. Be that as it may, China has done the same thing with United States. And I bet you, if you look closely, they would have had a similar plan for Russia as well, even though Russia is their friend. Remember, guys, till 1969, they were at war with each other, at each other's throats. Now, this sale to BlackRock aligns with Trump's warnings and shifts strategic oversight back to a US firm. Now, what has the China's foreign ministry said? They said that we never had any influence, yeah, right, over this canal, and this is an absolute lie. The CCP fears that US control over the ports will politicize the canal and constrain China's shipping trade. And what is the owner saying? Li-Ka Shing, he says, C.K. Hutchinson insists that the sale is purely commercial, unrelated to Trump's stance on the canal. However, the transaction significantly alters the geopolitical balance in the region, forcing companies to navigate escalating US-China tensions. So this is one huge problem that you have to deal with what is going on, and this also means that China will find its access sort of curtailed a little bit, especially if it needs to go to places on the western coast of Latin America. That's where they need to come this way to go there. The other route is too dangerous, because if you go through the eastern, that's just too long. So all the Western Latin American ports, now China will not be able to have as easy an access as before. Or one can make the argument that, well, they can come directly from China, but then China is selling all over the world. So you don't know which way the container is consigned. So there are all these permutations and combinations. The main takeaway is that US has, I think for now, broken one choke point that China might have inserted at the time, or should there be any kind of an adversarial bout between China and the United States. If that should happen, then at least US has gotten its closest bottleneck taken care of. The Panama Canal sale marks a geopolitical shift. It's a major one, boosting US control over a critical global trade route while weakening China's strategic presence. I feel that unless BlackRock is also having a lot of Chinese influence, that this is a good thing, and that US will probably be able to exert some amount of influence over BlackRock. After all, BlackRock is one of those companies which is holding much of the wealth of many United States investors. So it's I would say, if push comes to shove, BlackRock will take BlackRock will take United States side. Sorry about that. CCP's outrage highlights the significance of this power move, proving Trump's concerns about Chinese influence were not unfounded. That is the main takeaway, that they have planned this thing out for a long time. Xi Jinping, this megalomaniac, I guess, or whatever it is, he had all these ideas that if I do this, I can take care of. I think he's playing that game Risk in his mind. And all of us play the game on a board, and then, hi-fi each other on wins and losses and go away. But looks like Xi Jinping wants to play this thing and actually enact it out. Africa is under his grip. They're trying to loosen themselves. We're also hearing about Maldives. We'll know more about it in conversation I'm going to have with Delhi R. Rajagopalan at 10 a.m. IST in about 4 hours from now, and you'll get more details about the state of Maldivian economy. Is it as bad as Sri Lanka's, or worse, or better? All that and more. Do come in and listen to that. Also, we talk about an update on Mauritius. There are talks that we are hearing. We talked about this, about I think India has 28 islands in Maldives where they are going to set up water desalination plants. And I'm also hearing in Mauritius, India may have bought 1 or 2 islands. All these things will not be told in newspapers. What will happen is suddenly you will start seeing the Indian flag in some of these islands, and that somebody would have to go close to that to go and pick it up. But I think that's what is happening, because India wants to make sure that it will know if China comes snooping around there, because China has been doing this. They have been snooping on India's west coast as well as on India's east coast. So that's all I have. Let me take some questions from you. Give me a second while I line up all the questions. Thank you, Shruti ji, for your nice words. And Supratim Chaudhary says all ports sold are outside of China, hence do not require approvals from Chinese regulatory authorities. Okay, the first, just give me a second. Okay, so a few questions. Here we go. Priti Chandak says, while watching a video on PGurus app, when it is screen time, the video stops and we have to unlock the mobile to continue watching. This happens every 2 minutes screen time. So you have the screensaver set to 2 minutes, I guess, and you want me to fix that without any disturbance, without touching the screen every minute. There are a couple of things you can do. You can set your screen to maybe screensaver to 10 minutes of inactivity rather than 2 minutes. That's the easy setting. And what we do, we have to conform to the guidelines that Apple or Google places before they'll approve our app to be sold from their store. So if there is a constraint like that, we may not be able to fix it, but we will definitely look into it. Elmo wants to know, sir, Trump is dismantling China's hold on the world. At the same time, he is going after BRICS countries in some way or the other. He has Russia, India aligned. Brazil is in political turmoil. Yes, indeed. Brazil has another problem, and it is indeed under turmoil because Bolsonaro says that the election was stolen, and you know how this is been talked about for a long time. We'll see how it goes. 𝗟𝗏𝗏 wants to know, what is POK's future? India needs to do nothing. They'll just say we want to join India, and well, they can start by cleaning up the temple. There is a Saraswati Ma temple. Cleaning it up, start doing puja. Hey, wonderful. I don't think India is going to do anything at this point of time. It is because the fruit is getting ripe and it's going to fall on the ground. Why do anything? The POK is going to fall in India's lap on its own, but there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done. I'm told a lot of Punjab army people have been given land to come and settled in POK. They have changed the demographics of POK. I'm talking about the 𝗟𝗏-𝗞 area, not the Gilgit-Baltistan. There they have not gone much, but here they have taken up prime plots, and they have also tried to change the language. Very few people in POK now speak Kashmiri, which is very unfortunate. Most of it has been Punjabiized. So a lot of things have to change. I think India will just wait for some more time. Prashant Chauhan wants to know, does OCI to Mauritius PM and his spouse also indicate Indian influence, or Mauritius being another Indian state? Prashant, Radhe. Prashant, I don't know what is OCI. I think maybe he had applied for OCI card and he was given. I don't know what exactly you are implying. I haven't followed that. Maybe at a later time I'll give you an update on that one. Mauritius is also a place from where a lot of money comes into India, and all of that money is kind of hidden. It comes through shell corporations and they hide it. The original owner never gets revealed. It's a problem for the Indian government when it tries to track how illegal money laundered money is coming back into the to India, exactly through Mauritius, and see, there'll be a company that will be in a tax haven. That money will get transferred to Mauritius company, letterbox company. From the Mauritius letterbox company, money will be brought in via promissory note into the stock exchange. They'll invest. 10 of them will invest in a particular stock. The stock price goes up, and somebody in India will buy it at a higher price, and these people clean up. And until recently, there was no capital gain tax on investments that came in through Mauritius. So the people used to clean up. It was also called hot money. The profits could be taken out right away, and they would go out to Mauritius, from Mauritius back to the tax haven islands, or wherever the tax haven was. So this was the thing. Oh, Prashant Chauhan, overseas citizen of India. Yeah, so OCI card is like a green card. You can't vote in India, and you can't own agricultural land. As far as I know, these are the two limitations. Rest of the stuff you can do. And so I don't know under what category they gave it. Maybe Mauritius citizens have special rights, just like people like right now, the people who qualify for OCI card are people who are born in India, but they have since taken up any other country's citizenship, and their children, one generation, if I remember correctly, they also qualify for OCI. I don't know if it goes beyond that, and I have to do some research on that. But basically, that's what the OCI means. And you don't have to get a visa to come to India every time. That's one advantage. And plus, you can deal with, you can buy, sell things in India, houses and things like that. That way, NRIs can have a retirement home in India. Many of us do. And that's a nice thing to have. So anyway, that's all I have. Viewers, that's all I got. Thank you very much for giving me the chance to talk to you in person at 6 a.m. IST. And we'll be back in a few hours with Delhi R. Rajagopalan. Do come and join for that. Namaskar.